can hurt more than you expected. Not the loud kind of hurt, the quiet kind that sits beside you. One day, you notice a name has gone silent. A friend you once knew so well feels far away now. There was no big fight, no clear ending, just fewer calls, longer gaps, and a strange, empty feeling that can leave you asking something painful. Did I do something wrong? Or did I just stop mattering? Maybe you have asked that in the middle of an ordinary day. Maybe you never said it out loud. You may carry that question while folding laundry, or while standing at the kitchen sink in morning light. You may feel it when the house gets quiet, when the clock sounds louder than it used to. You may feel it on weekends most of all, the long kind of weekend that once meant plans. There was a time when a phone call came easily. A visit happened without too much planning. Now the phone stays still on the table. You glance at it anyway, more than you want to admit. You tell yourself not to be silly. You tell yourself everyone gets busy, and that may be true. But truth does not always remove pain. A quiet fact can still leave a deep ache behind. Maybe you miss simple things more than big things. A short chat, a shared laugh, a familiar voice. Maybe you miss being known without explaining yourself. That kind of comfort is hard to replace. There is a special sadness in missing someone still living. They are out there, just not beside you anymore. That kind of loss can feel confusing. It has no funeral, no cards, no clear words. So the hurt stays private. You carry it through small moments in ordinary rooms. You wake up and the house is still. The coffee brews and no one calls while it pours. You sit by the window with your mug. Morning light comes in, but the day feels thin. You think of someone you used to call first. Someone who would understand the smallest part of your day. Maybe you reach for the phone, then you stop, put it down, and tell yourself, maybe later. You do not want to bother anyone. That thought alone has silenced many good hearts. Afternoon comes slowly. The television talks, but it does not answer back. You may remember birthdays once celebrated together. Road trips, recipes, old jokes, little traditions that felt permanent. Back then, friendship felt like something settled, something safe, something you did not think you could lose. Now, a whole history can live inside you alone. That is a lonely thing. If this feels close to your life, stay here for a moment. You do not need to push it away. You do not have to act strong right now. You can simply notice what this brings up in you. Sometimes the deepest pain in later life is not noise. It is the slow fading of familiar connection. That fading can make a person feel strangely unseen, not hated, just quietly left behind. And when friendship changes this way, it can touch old fears, the fear of becoming less important, the fear of being remembered warmly but not included anymore. That hurts more than most people realize. It helps to say something honest here. Friends often drift away for reasons bigger than one moment. Life changes shape as the years move on, and friendships feel those changes even when love was real. Retirement changes routines. A person no longer meets others in the same places at the same hours. The easy contact disappears first. Then the habit of reaching out can disappear too. Health changes can narrow a world. Driving gets harder. Energy drops. Pain makes plans feel heavy. Even a short visit can become complicated. What used to be simple starts to require effort. Loss changes people deeply. A spouse dies, a sibling gets sick, a family problem takes over. When pain enters someone's home, friendship can slip to the edge without meaning to. Children and grandchildren grow busy lives. Their schedules fill with work, school, travel, and constant movement. That does not mean you matter less, but it can make your own days feel smaller. Some friends move away. Some stop going out. Some become more private than they used to be. Some feel lonely too, but hide it the same way you do. Silence can happen on both sides. And sometimes two people still care, but neither one wants to seem needy. So nothing happens. It is not always anger that breaks a friendship. Sometimes it is pride, grief, tiredness, or plain distance. That is why this loss can feel so hard to explain. There may be no single reason. Still, your heart looks for one. It wants a clear answer because the silence feels personal. Maybe you replay old conversations in your mind. You wonder if one small thing changed everything. Maybe you think of a missed birthday call, a canceled lunch, a text never answered. You may have told yourself not to care so much, but caring is not weakness. It only means that the friendship mattered, and something that mattered has changed. There is also this hidden pain. Sometimes you wait for a call that never comes. You may hear your phone ring in another room and feel a small rush of hope. Then it is a store, a wrong number, or some message you did not want. That little drop in your chest is real. It can stay with you longer than you expect. You may want to reach out. You may even know exactly what you would say. Then another thought arrives. What if they do not answer warmly or answer at all? So you protect yourself by staying quiet, but that protection can turn into more loneliness. You may smile at family and still feel this pain underneath. You may say you were fine. Sometimes the hardest part is this. You do not want pity, you just want real connection again. You want to feel included without begging for attention. You want friendship to feel natural, not forced. If you are feeling this right now, I want to ask you something very gently. When does it hurt the most for you? In the morning, in the evening, or after a memory appears? Is it when you see an old photo? Or when a holiday comes and things feel different? You do not have to answer out loud. Just let the question sit beside you for a moment. Because naming the hardest moment can soften confusion. It gives your pain a shape. And when pain has a shape, it becomes a little easier to carry. Now I want to say something that matters. This loneliness does not mean your life is over. It does not mean your best days of connection are behind you forever. It only means life has changed. Changed is not the same as finished. Quiet is not the same as empty. Even now, warmth can return in small ways. Meaning can return in simple ways too. Hope in later life rarely arrives like a parade. It comes softly, like light through a curtain. It comes through one honest moment. One small choice. One gentle act that reminds you that you are alive. You do not need to rebuild your whole world in 1 week. You only need one small opening. The first helpful thing is very simple. Tell the truth to yourself about what you miss. Not in a harsh way, in a kind way. Say, I miss feeling close to someone. Say, I miss being called first. I miss being remembered without asking. That kind of honesty is not self-pity. It is self-respect. When you name the feeling clearly, you stop fighting a shadow. You begin facing something real and human. The second helpful thing is small contact, not a grand gesture, just one gentle reach. You can send a short note. You can make one simple call. You can say, I was thinking of you. Do not worry about making it perfect. Warmth matters more than perfect words. And if one person does not respond the way you hoped, that does not define your worth. It only tells you where that connection stands right now, not who you are. The third helpful thing is building small living routines that protect your heart. Small things matter deeply. A walk at the same time each day can help. Sitting outside for 10 quiet minutes can help too. A weekly trip to the library, store, park, or church can help. Familiar places steady the soul. Routine does not erase loneliness, but it gives your day shape, and shape can bring comfort. The fourth helpful thing is noticing your hardest hours. Every heart has a time when silence feels heavier. For some, it is dusk. For others, it is Sunday afternoon or after dinner. If you know your hard hour, you can care for yourself before it arrives. You can choose music, a phone call, a puzzle, a short walk, or a favorite old movie. You can make soup before evening comes. You can turn on a lamp before the room feels too dim. That is not weakness. That is wisdom. It is caring for your own heart on purpose. The fifth helpful thing is protecting your self-worth from silence. This one matters more than most. When people drift away, it is easy to believe a cruel story about yourself. You may think you became forgettable, too old, too slow, too much trouble, too easy to set aside. Please do not let silence write that story for you. Silence is not a full truth. A quiet phone does not measure your value. An empty weekend does not erase your life. You are still a person who loved deeply. the person who showed up, remembered, and cared. You are still the person with stories, humor, memory, strength, and warmth inside you. Time has changed some things. It has not erased who you are. And there is one more gentle truth. Some friendships belong to a season, even if the season was long. That does not make them fake. It makes them human. What you shared was real then. It can still be precious, even if it cannot be the same now. Sometimes peace begins when you stop asking an old friendship to return exactly as it was. That does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop punishing yourself for change. You can miss someone and still keep your dignity. You can remember warmly and still move forward. You can honor what was good without living only in what is gone. And yes, new forms of connection can still happen, even now, even if they look different. It may not be a best friend from years ago. It may be a neighbor, a cousin, a church friend. It may be one kind cashier who learns your name, one walking partner, one person who truly listens. Small connection is still connection. It still feeds the heart. Please remember this clearly. You are not invisible because someone stopped calling. You are not a burden because you want companionship. You are not too old to be understood. You are not foolish for missing old friends. You are human, and your heart still reaches for warmth. That says something beautiful about you. It says you still care. And caring is not something to be ashamed of. It is one of the strongest things in a person. If tears come while hearing this, let them come gently. They do not mean you are falling apart. They may simply mean something true has been touched, something you have carried alone for too long. You have had to adjust to many changes, more than most people ever see from the outside. You have kept going through losses, quiet rooms, missing voices, and long evenings. So if friendship drift has hurt you deeply, it makes sense. Your feelings are not too much. You do not need to apologize for wanting closeness. You do not need to pretend silence feels fine. There is dignity in telling the truth about loneliness. There is courage in that honesty. And there is still room ahead for gentleness, for comfort, and for meaningful moments. Maybe tonight, instead of blaming yourself, you can breathe and loosen that burden a little. Maybe you can remember one friend with love without turning the memory into a wound. Maybe tomorrow you can take one small step, not to chase, not to beg, just to open a door. A short message, a simple hello, a walk outside, a visit to a familiar place. Healing in this part of life is often quiet. It happens in small acts that respect your heart. No one may clap for those acts. Still, they matter. They matter because you matter. Your days matter. Your voice matters. Your presence still carries meaning. And if someone has made you feel forgotten, that feeling is painful. But it is not your identity. You are more than who stayed, more than who drifted, more than who forgot to call. You are a whole life, a living story, a person still worthy of warmth and care. So when the room feels quiet tonight, I hope these words stay with you a little while. Not as noise, not as advice piled too high, just as company, a calm reminder that your heart makes sense, a soft reminder that connection can still find you. And if this spoke to something real in you, you can stay close here. You can like this video, subscribe, or leave a simple comment like, I understand this feeling. If you do, I would be glad you were here, and I hope you leave feeling a little less alone.